What's going on, sure? King of the Night 57 and Vincent Valentine EX Turk, the real Vincent Valentine, I should say. And we're back to theories, since the theory just came into my head. And I want to talk about why Sephiroth and Cloud are actually the same. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but what I mean by the same is that pretty much Sephiroth is a version of Cloud if Cloud went fully evil, considering Cloud has some of the same backstory and affiliation with Nibelheim as much as Sephiroth did. And Sephiroth was a local hero of Nibelheim when he was still a soldier, and that, you know, it was the cause of Cloud to join Soldier in the first place until the Nibelheim burning incident where Sephiroth set the whole town of Nibelheim on fire and killed Cloud's mother, hurt Tifa, and hurt Zack, which caused Cloud to beat him in battle for the first time. But there's a good reason why that Cloud was able to beat Sephiroth. Because if you really think about it, Cloud is more like Sephiroth than he thinks. Why do you think in Kingdom Hearts, Sephiroth goes around saying that, goes around saying that you're part of the darkness? Of course, in the Kingdom Hearts verse, they're the same person if you really think about it, because Sephiroth is a heartless of Cloud in Kingdom Hearts verse. But in Final Fantasy VII, it's pretty much Sephiroth is a dark version of Cloud. Now, Cloud is sarcastic and asshole in the beginning because he's too cocky because he thinks he's Zack. He becomes... But there's a good reason why he also becomes emo, down on himself, and doesn't like himself very much. Because he knows deep down, during the events of Avid Children, that he's a lot like Sephiroth. That if one misstep would have happened, he could have ended up being just like Sephiroth, Considering another reason why Sephiroth has killed Aeris, it's also to drive Cloud into revenge madness, so Cloud could give him the same kind of madness Sephiroth is, so he could see Cloud go off. Since Sephiroth knows that Cloud's a clone of Sephiroth, a new clone of Sephiroth after that battle. Not to mention, they're both connected by Genova, the alien parasite, so they're both connected. So in a way, Cloud and Sephiroth are actually brothers. Sephiroth being the older brother who chooses to do evil and destroy the world, as for Cloud chooses to save the world even though his life is messed up. It's really, if you really think about it, the reason why Sephiroth kills Aeris, it's not only to get rid of the white materia, but it was also to drive Cloud into that same darkness that he has inside, because Sephiroth is a dark character, after he finds out everything in Nibelheim. What Sephiroth's ideal is to make Cloud question humanity the same way he did, so he could give into the same kind of evil that he is. Because in Final Fantasy VII, Sephiroth knows that Cloud is actually turned into a clone of him. That's why sometimes Cloud has some green Sephirotic eyes. Because Sephiroth could sense that, and Sephiroth has the power to manipulate Genova cells in Final Fantasy VII. That's the power he gained after falling through the life stream. So that's how he was trying to possess Cloud to take out Aeris first of all, just so he could feel the same despair that he's felt, because they're so much similar. As Cloud is the light, Sephiroth is the darkness. That's why Kingdom Hearts, they use that because, well, Kingdom Hearts uses the concept of heartless and stuff like that, nobodies. That's why they're the same person in Kingdom Hearts, but separated from light and dark. But if you really think about it, in a more mental aspect, Sephiroth is the dark ego of Cloud. You know, is pretty much Cloud if he would have gave into despair. There's a reason why Sephiroth says, "Shall I give you despair?" There's a good reason why that line is so prevalent to Sephiroth's character. It's because he gives you despair. He gives you despair by making you question your own reality, your own existence. Makes you question the things you believe in. He plays with your head. Even Cloud has said that before, that he gets in your head. You know. So with all of that, Sephiroth is actually, you know, pretty much dark, a dark psyche of Cloud, if you really think about it. You know, one went the other way, the other went this way. Of course, Sephiroth being older, it would also this goes into the whole with time. Like Final Fantasy Peasant has explained this with time, but it makes sense with time. Time could change a person. Since Sephiroth is older, since in Final Fantasy VII, I know his age was not really revealed to us, but he would be at least about 32 years old in Final Fantasy VII. So Sephiroth is way older than Cloud is. You know? Because Sephiroth lived long enough to know the fucked up stuff they did to him and how he was conceived and stuff like that, that's why Sephiroth is, that's why Sephiroth goes to the dark side. And he wanted to make Cloud feel the same way he did. So if he took away someone he loved, like Aeris, and make him, and make Cloud look helpless, so Cloud would question himself, Cloud would eventually become like Sephiroth and want to rule the world. That's what Sephiroth's hope was. Of course, it never happened, and with that disappointment, that's why you see Sephiroth transform, because he's irritated, because the reason why Sephiroth transforms to his forms, even though he doesn't have to in order to be Avalanche, it's not only because he has to face all of Avalanche. It's also because he's pissed off and he's irritated that Cloud will not turn into what he is. He's irritated. He's pissed off. And understandably so. His goals didn't work. His real goal was to get Cloud to be just like him. That's why I said Final Fantasy VII is really about the story of Cloud Strife and Sephiroth. The rest of the characters, their story revolves around those two characters alone. It's not about the other characters. The other characters have their own stories, but the main premise of Final Fantasy VII is about also Cloud getting over his past. And not only Cloud getting over his past, but see what he would do. And would he still stay loyal to his friends and still stay loyal to the world he's going to save? Or would he turn out like Sephiroth, even now knowing the truth that, Shinra set him up? And Cloud finds his resolve at the end, defeats Sephiroth in 3 different battles, it defeats Sephiroth in 3 different battles. And this is why Cloud hates Sephiroth so much, because and then after having children, even though he defeated Sephiroth and that's over, he got Aeris' revenge, he still feels depressed about not only Aeris' death, but there's more to what Tifa says, a memory or us. It's also the fact in both Kingdom Hearts 2 and Advent Children, Cloud knows deep inside he's a lot like Sephiroth. That's why he hates Sephiroth a lot. Deep inside, he knows he's just a lot like him. He just chose a different path. But he hates that since Sephiroth is his biggest enemy. And considering, why he would be. I mean, Sephiroth killed his mother, burned his town down, hurt Tifa, hurt Zack, and destroyed the foundations of what he used to look up to. Because before, when Cloud was a kid, Cloud used to look up to Sephiroth when Sephiroth was a hero. In fact, Sephiroth was the reason why Cloud joined Soldier in the first place. Just to see your idol, but there is a reason why he would idolize Sephiroth. Even though, he takes up from Zack. The reason why he looks up to Sephiroth, because him and Sephiroth are alike. Both of their origins go back to Nibelheim. Sephiroth was only told who his mother was, but was lied to. and figured out that that's not the case a little bit, and why he's pissed off. Cloud lived under a single mother, but Cloud lost his mother, and that's why Sephiroth took away Cloud's mother, is because you know, to get Cloud to feel the same way he does about the world. Luckily, Cloud, growing up, having his own family, which is Avalanche, taught him the importance of friendship, love, and all that stuff. That's why, close to the end of Final Fantasy VII, you see that value in Cloud, and that's why Cloud tells Sephiroth, that goes like, Sephiroth, fuck you. You ain't nothing to me. You ain't gonna get me to do what you want me to do. I'm gonna do what I want. So, pretty much, yeah. But that's why in Avid Children in Kingdom Hearts series, he's depressed as hell, because he knows deep inside that if a little bit of push would have happened, if Cloud would have lost all his friends in Avalanche, he could become just like him. And as a matter of fact, in Kingdom Hearts 1, which I wish I had the footage right now, in Kingdom Hearts 1, Cloud became just like Sephiroth. As a matter of fact, in Kingdom Hearts 1, he tried to help the Disney villain Hades kill Hercules, just to get close to his goal to go after Sephiroth. So, it makes a lot of sense. They're both different versions of each other. It's like with how Batman and Joker is. The Joker is a lot like Batman, and the Batman, and the Batman is just like Joker if you really think about it. Just two different outcomes, Except in this case, Sephiroth started out first, considering that Sephiroth is older than Cloud. Much older. He's a pretty older guy, But, he's kind of... He is kind of what Cloud could have became if Cloud never held on to his values. Thanks to Cloud holding on to his values, we never had to face another Sephiroth that was going to destroy the entire world. And, thus, Cloud defeated Sephiroth because, why? Cloud's resolve and his love and compassion for Avalanche and the planet that he learned from Barrett and learned from everybody else that was around him, Antifa. His resolve was the thing that made him strong enough to beat Sephiroth, even one-on-one, where they both lost their energy through 3 battles, because they, into 2 battles, They're both out of energy, but what made Cloud summon that final energy to use the Omnis Slash, that final stamina, was Cloud's resolve to defeat Sephiroth and put an end to Sephiroth's evil for the love of his friends. So he did what he had to do in the final battle and take out Sephiroth, once and for all. Of course, Sephiroth came back with a live stream in the Remnants, but Cloud is reminded by Kadaj that he's a lot like Sephiroth. Hence why Kadaj calls Cloud his brother, because Cloud is now, in the original Final Fantasy VII, is a Sephiroth clone. So he's a lot like Sephiroth. So both characters are a lot alike. So if anything else, Sephiroth is actually a dark ego of Cloud. Same training, same kind of training, except Cloud never actually finished soldier, never ranked a soldier at all. He was never ranked a soldier. He was just given Mako injections and Genova cells, considering, Hojo knew it was him that beat Sephiroth. But even Hojo noticed that, and that's why he made him a clone of Sephiroth. So, nonetheless, if anything else, that just tells you, Sephiroth is actually a dark ego of Cloud Strife. And that's why Cloud Strife hates Sephiroth, because Cloud Strife feels as he could become just like him if a little bit of push was necessary. If he would have lost a lot more like Sephiroth. Sephiroth lost a whole lot. He lost his best friends Angeal and Genesis through desertion because of everything Shinra's done. He was lied to and figured out his birth mother didn't even get to hold him as a baby, because his birth mother was only a conduit to give him birth, to become the perfect weapon for Shinra. And that angered Sephiroth so much, because Sephiroth lost too much, and Cloud's worried if he loses too much, he could become just like Sephiroth. So this Final Fantasy VII is about dealing with loss. Final Fantasy VII is a game about dealing with loss. And you could deal with it positively, like Cloud did, or you could deal with it negatively and mess up the whole world like Sephiroth did. So nonetheless, This is why I think Sephiroth is actually the dark ego of Cloud Strife, and why Cloud Strife hates Sephiroth so much, because he knows. It's not only the guy he looks up to, he knows he could become the guy he once looked up to. So may the crystal be with you. And like and subscribe, share this theory if you think this is a good theory. You know, I've never done theories in a long time, but this is something that just came to my mind and I feel like I had to do it. So may the crystal be with you. And don't forget, King of the Night 57 is my Twitch.